Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day or night it is, wherever you are in the world as I'm posting this. Happy birthday, July 24th, babies. We're setting a intention here for a message for the next 24 hours. Now, it's the 24th where I am as I'm posting this, but you might not be in the same part of the world. Maybe the 24th has come and gone for you. Maybe you're going to see this video in a few weeks or a few months. So we're setting the intention here for the next 24 hours from whenever you happen to see this video. As you guys can see, I am on the road again. We're going to see what is coming up here. Ooh, and we have the Ten of Swords, my dears and my darlings. Now, this is kind of a scary looking card, right? We've got somebody laying here, and there's 10 swords in them, and it looks like it's a bad message. But the Ten of Swords is kind of about like the beast being vanquished here. Okay, Ten of Swords is the ending of karmic cycles. Ten of Swords can also be very positive in that it could be a card that's indicating sobriety, somebody overcoming their addictions or their self-destructive behaviors or patterns. And so with this Ten of Swords, this can be that some cycle you've found yourself in for a long time. You thought you were never going to get out of it. You're finally getting out of it, right? Maybe there was someone you thought you were never going to get over. I can relate. I've been there. You guys know my 10-year debacle. But it could be some kind of situation here where it's just someone you think you're never going to be able to forget or move on from, or something you just think I'm always going to be hurting over this. I'm never going to heal from it. And as I said, it could be some kind of self-medicating or self-destructive behaviors or habits or coping mechanisms that you're finally getting a handle on. And so it is positive. It's about some terrible thing that had power over you no longer having power over you. I sometimes also see Ten of Swords come up when you're getting ready to leave a situation that no longer serves you, and there could be a bittersweet element to it. Like, on one hand, you feel like this was a really great thing once upon a time. Like, I had prayed for this, I manifested this, I was so happy to have it, but now you've outgrown it, and it's time to move on, and you might have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, it's like you're wanting to grow, evolve, move on to bigger, better things. On the other hand, you might feel bad about leaving behind this person, this place, this organization, whatever it might be. And so there's like this bittersweet thing. And so some of you have been delaying taking those steps and moving forward. And the Ten of Swords for me comes up when it's like you're at the point where you can't do it anymore, right? It's becoming too painful to force yourself to stay small for the situation, or to like delay or procrastinate your growth or your next move. It's becoming too painful to put it off. So it's like, like it or not, here I go. I have to do this, right? I can't not do this. And so there's a bittersweet element to it. On one hand, you're like, man, this was really great once upon a time, but I really have to go. It's not fun anymore, right? I'm not enjoying it anymore, and holding on to it is it's too stifling. It's too constricting, and I just can't do this anymore. So there could be an element here where some of you feel like you're gonna have to disappoint someone or some people, or let them down as you're going in a new direction, or as you're growing or moving to your next phase, your next level, your next thing. Sometimes I see Ten of Swords come up in this way. I'm trying to think anything else here. Oh, okay. So one more thing about like the Ten of Swords here. I do feel like a lot of you who have been struggling with self-medication and self-destructive behaviors, the Ten of Swords is coming in a way where you feel or you sense like the desire is leaving you, or the desire is shifting. Like it's becoming easier. It's becoming easier to make better choices. It's becoming easier not to reach for whatever that poison may be. uh so like I feel like for some of you, maybe you've done the 12-step programs and you've been through the 12 steps, and you were in that mindset of like, well, I have the desire to change, even though I don't want to give up this habit, or I may still be longing for it or wanting it. I want to not want it, right? So some of you may have been in that behavior where it's like, I have the willingness to be willing. I have the desire to desire. I want to want it. But I feel here like this Ten of Swords, it's becoming easier. Like you're finding that you don't have that desire to reach for whatever's been hurting you, or whatever has been, having a negative impact on your life. It's becoming easy. Like you don't want it, or the craving is diminishing, right? Now, does this mean that, oh, well, the craving is diminishing, so I must be better, so I guess I can, have this, substance in moderation? Probably not. Probably not a good idea to test the waters in that way. But I feel here with this Ten of Swords, some of you have a less of a desire to reach for that thing. It's becoming easier to make better choices, healthier choices, better options. So I feel like that longing or that desire is diminishing, and there's also like an aspect here of like whatever the void was that was making you reach for this thing, you don't feel that void as much. Like that void is not tormenting you the way that it was in the past. And keep in mind, guys, we self-medicate in so many different ways. Sometimes it can be through drink or through substances or herb or chemical substances. Sometimes it can be through physical intimacy, partying, gambling, food, sugar, shopping. It could be so many different ways, or so many different ways that we kind of try to numb ourselves. And I feel here with this Ten of Swords, one last thing, some of you maybe have had really serious things that you've had to overcome. And maybe, like I said, maybe you've been going to like counseling and therapy, and you've done the 12 steps, and some of you maybe even have been in and out of rehab, maybe even more than once. But some of you may have found that whatever the really dangerous thing was, like maybe you gave it up, right? Maybe you quit drinking, maybe you quit using substances, but you were like in that thing of like, and I hope this is not offending anybody, because I'm not saying it in a derogatory way, but there's like with alcoholism, there's a term, a dry drunk. So a dry drunk would be someone that they quit drinking, but they still have all of the anger and all of the issues and all of the things that make them want to drink. And so some of you maybe have been like in that element where you're like, well, I'm not doing the thing I was doing. I'm not doing the self-medicating, but all the issues are still there. And now I'm just really angry. Now I just don't have anything that takes the edge off, right? And so I feel like with this Ten of Swords, those things are being resolved. Like you're not gonna be in that quote unquote like dry drunk energy. Or you may have given up one self-medicating behavior, and you may have picked up something else. Well, I'm not drinking anymore, or I'm not using chemical substances, but now I just can't keep it in my pants, or I just can't stop eating, or whatever it might be. You may have left one thing and you may have picked up some other crutch. I feel this Ten of Swords is coming up like you're not needing the crutches. The need for it is diminishing. And a person could be a crutch. A relationship could be a crutch. A codependency could be a crutch. So whatever it was that you were using to fill that void, you're not desiring it anymore. And you're not feeling that void like you were feeling before. So this is a really powerful moment in healing. It's a very powerful thing to accomplish. And some of you are feeling that and sensing it already. Some of you are like, man, this sounds really great, and I'm hoping that that's on the horizon for me, but just keep your eyes on the prize, so to speak, and keep doing what you're doing in terms of healing, right? Because the Ten of Swords is telling us this is the energy that we'll be stepping into. So I thank you all for checking out the card of the day. The weekly forecasts for the coming week are linked in the description of the video. Love readings for July and August are linked in the description of the video. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link in the description that will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. And I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm going to be on the road for a while. I'm not really sure how long, but I think I've got a good place here. I think I've got some good internet, so I'm going to keep the videos coming even though I may be traveling. I may not be super quick to respond to emails, so please do be patient with me. And I thank you all for watching, and thank you for your continued love and support. I love you guys. Have a fabulous day. Take care and be well.